Hello everyone, this is going to be the second video of the algorithmic framework, episode 2. So we're going to actually be going over the price delivery model, or as I would call it, the PDM for short. Price delivery model is basically going to be the different models that we have for the PO3 ranges and how we look at them. So I'm going to be PDM. So in this case, we're going to be going over the indicator first. This indicator is free, and you get it in the description below of the videos. All the videos will have them. All right, so we're just going to go over a few settings here of the indicator before we go on further. And I know some of you probably have never seen these, or if you have, you might not understand them. And if you have seen them and you understand them, then this will just be a nice review for you. But nonetheless, so when it comes to the settings, we do have a few settings here. The first setting is going to be show only PO3 range level. All this is going to do is make it so you can only see the range high, EQ, and range low. There's a small bug on it with the fractal boxes, and I'm going to be pushing an update for that real soon to fix that. But turn that off, you can see all the levels, okay? So then we have range, right? So there's obviously a lot of ranges you can pick from, but we only use it on the time frame we're going to be trading on. This case, we are going to be trading the 1 minute or lower, and we're going to be looking to use the 2 for 3 or an 81 range. I will go over when and when not to, like when to use 2 for 3 over 81 and vice versa. Okay, then you have decimal multiplier. This is going to be basically for like depending on the symbol you're using. In this case, we use NQ, so we don't even need to touch this. And on gold, you don't need to touch it as well. There's a few, like it all comes down to like the price, that we're like how the symbol operates its price, and that will determine the decimal multiplier. But I've already adjusted this, so you don't even have to touch it. It should automatically like do it for a few pairs. And if you do have any issues with any pair, just let me know, and I'll go ahead and double check and make it work perfectly for that pair. Next up, you have show minimalistic labels. All this does is change the labels on the side, so they're like basically abbreviated. I really don't care much for it, but I know some people do. And then you have actual like settings here, like show align levels. So basically, without this, you don't know like which ranges are aligned. For example, we know that this range high is also a 729 high and a 2187 high. Simple. Box is just going to show the box there if you're not looking to. I like the boxes, but if you want to see just straight lines, that's fine too. Fractal box is the same thing, you know, the box there. ERD and IRD, external range demarker and internal range demarker. Those are the top of the above range high and below range low, and inside as well. Then you have lower ERD and IRD. This is up to you. So if you were looking at this, like if this was an 81 range, then the ERD and IRD for the 81 range would be right there. But fine. You have EQ right here, the midpoint between high and low, and you also have fractal EQ, which is the midpoint between the fractal levels and the range high, and you also have the range low and the fractal level above it right there. Yeah. No range above and below basically adds a range over this one, and extend to range to the right is how many bars, so how many candles ahead do you want the power of 3 ranges to show up in. And then you have customization, which is totally up to you. You can keep it how I have it. It's all up to you. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, when we're looking at PO3 ranges, the first model that we're going to be looking for, the PDM, is going to be simple. We're going to be looking for range low to range high, or range high to range low. Super basic, A to B or B to A, however you prefer it. All right, guys. So yeah, we're going to be looking at is going to be from range high to range low in this, right? So ideally, the way that price moves through these PO3 ranges is we're looking for price to do a few things, right? This really varies on how much price trades into these areas. So I'm just going to go over a basic one, okay? So what you can see here is price goes and hits the range high, right? Then you want to see price displace and retrace into either the fractal EQ or the IRD, the internal range to marker. And from here on, you want to see it displace harder, retrace back into the range, the fractal range. And from here, it doesn't matter how price moves technically, because you are only allowed to enter above EQ. All right. For this particular model, this is going to be the basic model, right? This is still going to be the one that you guys should be focusing on mainly, and this is the one that I'm going to go over today. All right, there's going to be two different other PDM models, but we'll go over them when the time comes later in the video. This is just a simple introduction to the PO3 ranges and how I see them function. Okay. All right, so in this case, we are looking basically for like a fair value gap to be in these areas for some kind of entry, basically. And I prefer to be a gap, okay? But obviously, like, if there is stuff on the left side of the curve, like let's say like there was a retracement here, and then, you know, that would be nice too. And then this would be like, ideally the breaker. If not, the breaker could be down here. There's also going to be instances where the breaker can form right above IRD, and that's fine too. That's like a super perfect SMR because you're getting in at a super low risk. Okay. Actually, not the... Okay. So, ideally for this type of model, we're looking to enter a fractal EQ or the fractal range below. Anything below EQ, we're not entering for a sell model. Anywhere above EQ is fine, but specifically these are the ranges that you would want to enter at. Now, what I just showed you is when price hits range high, meaning that we wicked it or we hit the price level, right? So in this case, the price level would be like 28,430. Price hits that, you can expect it to hit fractal EQ. Now, if price fails to hit the range high, but we still hit the IRD, then I can expect price to more than likely not retrace into fractal EQ, but retrace specifically into the fractal range and then do the whole market maker model off of the ranges. All right, now, even if we hit IRD, there's still a chance that we could retrace to the fractal EQ and then do the main play here. However, it is less likely due to the fact that price did not hit range high, right? And we're not entering solely based off this, by the way, guys. I'm just showing you how the price model should be moving, how we should be moving through these PO3 ranges once the reversal is in play, meaning we hit the POI based off the first video of the lecture. All right. Now, there's also going to be another one. Price can go all the way up and hit the ERD, right? Price can then actually retrace into the range high and then start doing the regular model. Okay, same thing here. Price goes above range high, hits ERD, and then starts the move. Or, and this one's a little bit more advanced. Let's say we have one range above on, right? Now, if we're going to be doing this specific price delivery model, I expect price to go above the range high. All right, so let's just say this. Price goes through range high. Anywhere in here, doesn't matter. The highest point that you want price to go to is going to be 81 above the range high. Let's say we have something like this. No matter what, price is not allowed to trade above it If it does, it needs to have a super heavy displacement to the downside to validate that the PDM is going to be in play, guys. All right, so then this is what your model will be looking like. All right. Okay, perfect. So this is the furthest. This is the threshold, guys. This is the farthest that I would want price to go to if we're going to be doing the PDM. All right. But yeah, so now basically what you guys want to do is obviously besides this happening, you would want to be seeing like a 1 hour gap. You'd want to see some sort of buy side. Obviously, it doesn't have to be exactly at the range high, for example. Like, let's just say we do something like, okay, and the 1 hour gap's a little bit above it. This is fine. The buy side could be engineered in advance of the range high. That's not a problem. It could even be here. That's not a problem. It just needs to be in advance or in between these specific levels, right? So I'd prefer it to be like something like this for the buy side, this specific range area. And I want to see the 1 hour gap specifically in the same area as well. And if the gap is smaller, okay, something like this, that would be beautiful. Okay. Remember, I'm showing you guys too like gaps that have buy side in them, so it looks something like this. It's like super algorithmic. We actually had a really good example of this model on Friday. So we're actually gonna look at that one real quick. And we're only gonna look at the first one, okay, not the rest going forward. Obviously, we're gonna go ahead and head to the 1 hour real quick. And I'm just gonna show you guys right here. We did have the 1 hour gap right here. Send that, make it red. And on top of that, you actually notice here, there is a high right there. The gap's not fully filled. So yeah, there's buy side here. And we can expect, based on the first video, if price takes us out, hold this out, then we want to see it start doing an SMR. Perfect. Obviously, on the 1 minute here, you don't get any entry. Besides like IFEGs, you get an entry right here, but this is it's still fine. It's above EQ, but we're gonna go down to the 50. Perfect. So yeah, what you can see here is that, matter of fact, price did go above the range high completely. We hit the fractal EQ and we stopped right there. Okay, the highest that we wanted to see it go was to this range 81 up here, but price didn't even bother going into it. All right. So that's the furthest we'll go for the price delivery model to play out. Also, we're gonna go ahead and we're looking for a sell side to be like near the objective. In this case, range low. We can use a 1 hour. We have a nice 1 hour sell side down here. We also have one right here as well. We also could probably get one on the 15-minute time frame. Right there, that's also clean. Oh, but look, we already took this one. I ate that one. All right, perfect. So we have sell side. You can even use the one pre 9:30 right there. Okay. We have a good amount of sell side here to already play out this trade. So this case specifically, what you see here is we're bouncing off a fractal EQ, meaning that price didn't fully hit range 81. Therefore, you're going to be shifting all the entries down. Okay, in this case, first entry should be at range high. This case, what we can see here is you actually do have a CSD right here. It is a little bit distorted. You know, it's not exactly price perfect. It's called price distortion, by the way. But it isn't going to be super, super perfect. But you also get a gap right here. And there you go. That's one entry right there. The next entry would be at fractal EQ. But like I told you, we are a little distorted, and you can see this gap is the fractal EQ gap. For the range 81, the fractal level, you're looking specifically at this gap right there. This one represents the 81 range. Anything below that, we are not entering because it's below EQ. Essentially, you can see here, this is the price delivery model right here. It's going to be the first one. There's going to be two more, but you'll learn those throughout the lectures. I want you guys to specifically focus on PDM 1 here. Okay. But yeah, guys, I think that this is a very, very clean example of price delivery model. Now, we're going to also explain something here. How do I know when to use 81 and how do I know when to use for 3? Super simple. You have 81 on and you're on the 1 minute time frame. If you have one candle, like not even one candle, if you see that two candles, in this case 2 candles, did the whole 81 range, that is not realistic. That means that we are very volatile and we're going to switch to 2 for 3. Price should not be doing the whole range in 1 or 2 candles, guys. It should always be a few. It should take its time. I'll go and provide some screenshots of different times with different models here in a second. Guys, here I will provide an example. An 81 range trade. This is from 2025. By the way, what you guys can see here is price goes, takes out this high right here in the range high 81 at 9:30. Price makes a big run lower, takes out the high, and then it does the price delivery model. See here we get the gap at fractal EQ. Price doesn't go a little bit above, but that's where it displaced properly. And then you get one more entry right here at the range 27, the fractal range. You guys can see it right here. But yeah, that right there is the price delivery model. All right, if you guys have any questions on this, just let me know. We're only going to be going over this specific model right now. Range high to range low, or we do give it an extension, like I said, up to the next fractal level. But that's it. Nothing else beyond that, all right, guys? But yeah, I'll be going over the trades of the week tomorrow and posting a video on that. Hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and we'll get into more technical stuff about PO3 ranges later down the line. Take care, guys. Have a safe weekend.